what are fiscal challenges? These are financial issues a government faces, such as budget deficits, rising public debt, and insufficient revenue. This problem often arises from high spending, inefficient use of funds, or reliance on unstable income sources like oil and gas. Fiscal challenges can limit a country's ability to invest in essential services and maintain economic stability. Now, looking at Malaysia's fiscal policies, they play a vital role in maintaining macroeconomic stability and boosting economic growth. However, Malaysia has faced significant external pressures, including global trade, vulnerabilities, geopolitical tensions, and fluctuation commodity prices. These factors complicate the country's effort to manage its economy and public finance effectively. Malaysia has experienced decades of budget deficits and rising debt, partly supported by oil revenues and high domestic savings. From 1970 to 2017, Malaysia's fiscal sustainability was in question 40 out of 48 years, according to the Indicator of Fiscal Sustainability. The COVID-19 pandemic worsened these challenges as increased government spending was needed to support businesses and households, emphasizing the urgency for fiscal policy reforms. This brings us to the importance of public sector reforms. These reforms can improve efficiency, transparency, and accountability in government operations, reducing wasteful spending and optimizing resource allocation. Strengthening tax administration can enhance revenue collection while reducing reliance on volatile income sources. Additionally, tackling corruption and improving government can restore public trust, attract investments, and ensure better use of public funds.
Next, we move on to the impact. The first impact is rising public debt. Rising public debt in Malaysia affects government spending and economic growth, as more funds are needed to pay off the debt, leaving less for essential services like healthcare and education. This can lower service quality and increase public dissatisfaction. High debt level also raise borrowing costs, limiting private investment and slowing economic growth. If the government implements austerity measures like cutting spending of rising tax, it could further harm economic activity. To ensure fiscal stability and sustainable growth, effective public sector reform are crucial. Next, revenue shortfall. Revenue shortfall from dependence on oil revenue impact the economy, especially when oil price drop, leading to reduced government income and budget deficit. In this situation, the government faces tough decisions. For example, it may have to cut funding for essential services like healthcare and education, delay important infrastructure projects, or even take on more public debt to fill the gap. This revenue shortfall doesn't just affect government operations, they strain the overall economy. Reduced funding for essential services impact public welfare, while delayed projects hinder long-term development. High public debt can also reduce economic growth by increasing borrowing costs.
Insufficient public expenditure arises when government spending falls short of adequately supporting essential sectors such as healthcare, education, and infrastructure. This issue is often caused by budget constraints, rising debt, and inefficient resource allocation, which collectively hinder the effective delivery of public services. As a result, it leads to poor quality services, delay in infrastructure projects, unresolved challenges, increased inequality, and a loss of public trust. Addressing this problem requires implementing better fiscal management, ensuring transparency, generating additional revenue, and optimizing the use of resources to enhance efficiency and effectiveness. Next is the impact on public services. Budget deficit, public debt, and slow revenue growth significantly restrict the government capacity to deliver and sustain essential public services. This limitation particularly affects key sectors such as healthcare, education, and infrastructure, which often face reduced funding. The consequences are evident in lower service quality, delays in infrastructure development, and overburdened system, especially during crises. To address these challenges, public sector reforms are crucial. These reforms should focus on optimizing resource allocation, reducing inefficiencies, and diversifying revenue streams to ensure sustainable and effective service delivery.
Good day to my respected lecturer. Today, me and my fellow teammates will be presenting on 4 key strategies Malaysia is adopting to strengthen its fiscal framework: diversifying revenue sources, reducing expenditure inefficiencies, strengthening governance, and promoting public-private partnerships. These initiatives are essential to ensure long-term economic stability and sustainable development. Malaysia has traditionally relied heavily on oil and gas revenues, making it vulnerable to global price fluctuations. To address this, the government has been diversifying its revenue streams. One significant step was the introduction of the Goods and Services Tax or GST in 2015. However, due to public resistance, it was replaced by the Sales and Services Tax or SST in 2018. Now, the SST is set to expand under the 2025 budget, aiming for a 5.5% increase in tax revenue, targeting a total of RM 339.7 billion ringgit. In addition, new taxes are being explored, including a capital gains tax on unlisted shares and a luxury goods tax, as part of broader fiscal reforms. Another critical measure is the revamp of gasoline subsidies, which is expected to save around RM 8 billion annually. These funds will be redirected to essential sectors like education and healthcare. Together, these measures demonstrate Malaysia's commitment to building a more resilient fiscal environment. To complement revenue diversification, the government is also working on reducing inefficiencies in public spending. This involves several strategies. First, public sector rationalization focuses on streamlining government functions and improving interagency coordination. This ensures that resources are allocated efficiently, improving services delivery while reducing costs. Second, the Malaysia Digital Economy Blueprint or MyDigital leverages digital technologies to minimize bureaucratic delays and enhance efficiency in public services. Third, the implementations of performance-based budgeting links financial allocation to specific outcomes. This promotes greater accountability among government ministries. Lastly, a new compensation scheme effective on December 2024 will restructure salaries for 1.6 million civil servants. This aims to attract skilled personnel and improve the overall quality of public service delivery. Together, this measure ensures fiscal sustainability while maintaining essential services for citizens.
Public finance reform is a cornerstone of effective governance. It ensures efficient allocation of resources, transparency in spending, and helps meet the needs of citizens. But how does this impact the lives of people? Let's explore. One of the most impactful strategies is strengthening governance, exemplified by the National Anti-Corruption Plan or NACP. The NACP is a comprehensive government strategy to combat corruption. It focuses on strengthening legal frameworks, improving transparency, and promoting accountability. The goal? To ensure public institutions are efficient and trustworthy. Malaysia's freedom from corruption has made modest progress. In 2017, corruption levels were at 52%, but by 2024, they dropped to 48%. While the drop may seem small, it's a crucial step forward in reducing corruption and fostering trust in public institutions. Through efforts like strengthening anti-corruption agencies, raising public awareness, and encouraging whistleblowing, the NACP is making a significant impact on governance and public trust. Next, promoting public-private partnership. Exemplified by Malaysia MRT system, in this partnership, the governments provide regulation and funding, while private companies handle design, construction, and operation. The result? High-quality infrastructure delivered efficiently and sustainably. The MRT system is transforming urban transport, easing congestion, and supporting economic growth. This collaboration is an example of how public-private partnership can deliver long-term benefits. Through strategies like the NACP and effective of PPPs, Malaysia is building a future of transparency, accountability, and a sustainable development for all. A stronger, fairer, and more prosperous Malaysia.
In conclusion, Malaysia's fiscal challenges, including budget deficits and rising debt, require urgent reforms. Public sector strategies like diversifying revenues, reducing inefficiency, strengthening governance, and fostering partnerships are a key to improving fiscal sustainability. These measures will enhance public services, restore trust, and support long-term economic growth, ensuring Malaysia's resilience in the face of future challenges. Thank you.